Okay, so how to prepare to buy your first investment property. We have so many people that have reached out to us that have been interested in getting into the real estate investment space. And they come to us because obviously they know that we've been investing for quite some time now. And usually the first question they ask is, how do I prepare? Where do I start? And typically, that first step that we always want to make sure that they understand is you can't just dive into it with no research. You have to do your research first. You have to learn about different strategies and decide the strategy that works best for you.
Before we started, we spent 6 months just diving deep into the research, listening to podcasts, reading books, talking to other investors, talking to the different pieces of the process in terms of who you'll need when buying real estate, which we'll dive into here. But ultimately, it's getting the knowledge you need to feel comfortable diving in. Again, you don't want to, get too much in depth on the knowledge because sometimes analysis paralysis comes in play and you never make a decision. But ultimately, if you get a good baseline knowledge of some of the different strategies you want to take, you're able to build a team. You're going to be able to dive into whatever method of real estate investing you choose and be successful at it.
Yeah, just to point out some of the tools that we've used. We really like Bigger Pockets. There's a lot of authors on that podcast, so we've read a lot of their books too, and just reading different articles.
Yeah, and there's a lot of social media context out there now that you can, if you find somebody you really like and you can relate to, you can follow their stuff. Always do say follow multiple influencers, if you will, in the real estate space, because you want to get different opinions from different people when looking at different real estate investment strategies.
So then you really just want to focus on building the team that's going to help you, get that investment property. So that first person that you're going to be working with is an investor-friendly realtor. And I, point out investor-friendly realtor because really, if you can work with somebody who's sells real estate but has been investing in real estate themselves, they can really offer you a unique perspective when you're looking at these properties and analyzing them. If your realtor has done it themselves and has properties, they're just gonna notice things to look at that maybe someone who isn't doing that doesn't really, even think about, right? Because they haven't had the experience themselves.
Yeah.
Another, thing that you're gonna wanna have, this is not a person, but it's more of an item or a tool, but you're going to want to have a deal analyzer, because this is going to help you plug in all the numbers about the property so you can analyze and get a great idea of, what your profits are going to look like at the end of the day.
Yep, and this will help basically ensure you're buying a good investment. I know we use it all the time, and it plugs in, you're able to plug in all of the different portions of buying real estate. So there's occupancy rates, there's maintenance, there's unexpected things that come up, CapEx, right? So there's all these different things you're able to plug into this tool, and it'll essentially show you your cash on cash returns and your total return on investment as well. So a good tool is really important when analyzing deals before you take the plunge.
There's a lot of free tools out there too.
Somebody else you're gonna wanna talk to right away, and you can talk to lenders before you even buy a property. You could talk to 10 different lenders, right? So when you decide which path you wanna take, whether it's a single family home, whether it's a 2-unit, 3-unit, 4-unit, 5-unit, or commercial space, right? There's all these different types of real estate you can buy, but talking to the right lender for the right product you're buying is so important. I would say that, lender relationships are probably the thing that really make or break deals for us at the end of the day. Some lenders are really good at multi-units, some are really good at residential units. So it's important to be super transparent with your lenders on what your goals are and letting them know what your plans are, because at the end of the day, if they feel comfortable with you and your plan, they're gonna be more apt to lend with you. And as you grow your real estate portfolio, you'll find that it becomes much easier. I know over time we started with working with one lender when we bought our first property, and then it's expanded to 3 or 4 different lenders.
And we use different lenders based on the properties that we're purchasing. So that's why it's very important to be transparent, because if your goal is to BRRRR this property, you're gonna do the work and refinance, but that lender isn't comfortable with that strategy, you need to explain what you're going to be doing with that property before you even buy it to make sure that they're on board with whatever your plan is.
Yep, every lender may have different seasoning periods. They might have early termination fees. There's all sorts of different things that can come into play. So you hit it on the head. Like it really is all about being transparent with those lenders. You'll also want to have a good attorney in the books ready to go for you. When you get into real estate, obviously there's an attorney that will help you close the deal, of course. But then on top of that, when you become a landlord, other things may come up, right? You may have a tenant that tries to sue you. It does happen. Like hopefully it doesn't happen, but you want to have somebody who can help you with tenant issues that may arise. You want to have asset protection. So ensuring you have the right asset protection in place, talking to an attorney on this. Do you put the property in an LLC? Do you not put the property in an LLC? There's a lot of different ways to structure your business once you dive into the rental market. So that's why it's super important to have an attorney that you can run these things by and that can help guide you through the process. Another person super important is an insurance agent. You're obviously going to have to get insurance on the property itself, and you want to have enough coverage. I mean, that's so important. Some insurance agents work really well with investors, some may not, right? So it's important just to ensure that the person you choose from an insurance standpoint, they understand what you're looking to buy, and their product is aligned with what you're looking to do with the property, what type of property you're buying.
Right, and you're also gonna want an umbrella policy too, so you have that overarching protection. So should something happen, you're at least insured.
Yes. It's always good to have a couple $1 million in an umbrella policy because it's cheap and it provides additional protection on top of your standard insurance.
The next person I would say, you really want to have in place is an inspector, someone who's thorough, because once you go under contract on this home, that inspector is going to go into the investment property that you're purchasing, and they're going to tell you everything that's wrong with the property. And I promise you there's going to be things wrong with it. Especially, there'll be extra amount of things wrong with it if you're buying something that you need to fix up too.
They're going to get up on the roof. They're going to tell you if that roof needs to be replaced. So you want to have someone who's very thorough, that's going to give you a really good picture of what that work is going to look like for you once you acquire the property. And then the next person that you're probably going to want to work with is a good accountant. You want to have a CPA that you're working with, especially somebody who specializes in real estate investors, right? Because they're going to be able to help look at what you're doing with your properties, help you decide what you can write off, and really help you during tax season.
Yep. And if you put your property in an LLC, they can kind of help you guide you with that process as well on what the bookkeeping looks like, and again, what you can and can't write off, how to depreciate the asset that you buy. So there's a lot of things that your CPA will do just to ensure that you're maximizing the investment that you're making on buying your first residential real estate. Contractors are also super important, especially if you're going into a value add investment. I know we've worked with lots of contractors over the years, and having the right contractor for the right property is essential, right? You want somebody who's gonna get the job done, they're gonna get the job done on time, they're gonna be cost effective, obviously, and aligned with budget. You do get what you pay for sometimes, but you wanna make sure you vet them out, they're licensed and bonded, and they're going to do the work they say they're going to do on the budget you set them with. Unfortunately, you'll go over budget sometimes, but again, as long as you're transparent, you have this good relationship with these contractors, you'll be able to work through some of those things.
And then also, a property manager. You may choose to have a property manager. So you're going to want to work with somebody that is maybe managing properties in the area already. I mean, I know we've had a lot of experience working with property managers.
Yeah, and it's good when you're talking to a property management company, you really want to understand what they'll do for you, right? What is their scope of work? Are they going to charge, what are they going to charge you for, right? So they should have a list or an hourly rate on what they'll charge you for, what they charge you for when they get new tenants in, what they charge you for with turnover, rehabbing a unit, just getting it turned. If you have a new tenant moving in and it's not a full rehab, it's just an easy turn. There's going to be different fees associated with these things. And some property managers may do rehab, some may not. So it's really important to just interview them as you would, interviewing for a job or something like that, right? You really want to make sure, you ask the right questions. And on top of that, just understanding what their monthly fees are, or their collections fees. A lot may charge a percentage based on the gross rents collected. So just knowing that is important. But you could also self-manage. And I know, you and I, when we initially started, we self-managed our stuff. There are benefits to doing it yourself because you learn the business, you learn the process. So that way, when you do hire a property manager, you know how to manage them.
And then the last one is you really want to have all your banking in place. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a separate bank account for your property, so you're not commingling funds and it's just for that property. And if you have an LLC, typically you can set up a business account, which there's a lot of benefits that come with that. And you're just going to want to have a spreadsheet where you truly understand all the money coming in and going out of the property, so you can understand what those expenses are and how you're truly profiting.
Yeah, and when you start too, when you're buying your first one, Excel is perfectly fine, QuickBooks, whatever it may be. And over time, as you add to your portfolio, you can dive deeper and deeper into different softwares and technology to help keep the books much easier.
Right. And lastly, you're going to want to have a credit card too for your property, right? So that's going to make tracking the expenses a lot easier, as well as you get other benefits with having the credit card. So I would say that pretty much wraps up your team/items of experts that you need.
Yeah, we're constantly adding to our team, right? We're constantly adding lenders. We're constantly adding contractors, right? There's all these different pieces of the team that we're looking to continue to grow on. And the stronger your team is, the better you're going to be, the more efficient you're going to be.
Right. So this is what's going to really help you, smoothly as you can, go through purchasing your investment property.